Hi guys, I am back today with another video talking about Melt Cosmetics, but today I want to go through and rank all of my Melt palettes from least favorite to most favorite. I've had a couple people ask about it, and I kind of want to do it a couple different ways. One, I want to just do it straight out, like color story, performance, all of it together in my opinion. And everybody is different, so please don't be upset with me if yours is not number one, because it may not be. And it may just be simply because I don't like the color story as well on my skin. That's it. Because there's one that I'm going to rank and people are going to be like, why isn't this higher? And I just know it. But for me, it just wasn't like, it didn't make my heart flutter like it did a lot of your guys's. And that should be okay. We don't have to like the same things. Hopefully. But in any case, and then I may go back and just like rank all of the actual packaging second. So, without further ado, I'm going to start with number one and least favorite palette, which would be the Millennial Pinks palette. It breaks my heart because I love it. I think the color story is gorgeous. I think it is one of the prettiest packages. Like, it's pretty. It's not my favorite packaging that they have, but it is really cool. I used to wear studded belts in high school and middle school and like some of my adult life too. So for me, like it really kind of took me back and I liked it and enjoyed it. And the only thing is for me is that the performance of the palette was just not there. The like matte shades are pretty patchy and the metallic shades were more flaky and lid topper-esque, except for not even like that. Like they just flaked off. I couldn't even get the application to be anywhere near what I was hoping for with that. So it is my least favorite one. And my second to last favorite palette. So, oh, I don't have Millennial Pinks anymore. I did declutter it, so I'm sorry. I will just put a picture up there so you can see it, but I don't have it anymore. The next least favorite would be the Muerte. I'm sorry if I'm saying this wrong, palette. And it is not because of performance, because I've actually never used it, so I cannot speak to that. But color story, I didn't pick it up because for me it wasn't, like I love reds, but I'm not as hip on blues. And so I've already got a blue palette, which I don't even use now, which is the Jeffree Star Blue Blood palette, and I love that palette. Performs well, it's got every shade of blue you could possibly imagine or mix together to make, so I just couldn't justify that palette. Okay, so editing Jacqueline here. I am now looking at pictures of this palette again, and regretting that I didn't get it. I have made a huge mistake. So, sorry, my cat may come up here. He is all up. It's him. He's being adorable. But in any case, I'm kind of eating my words now because I really think I want it. Look at me. I'm like, ugh, I can picture the money going out of my hand as I purchase this. It's terrible. I'm so indecisive. The next palette, this is tough. Oh, okay, it's not as tough for this one, is the Radioactive palette. And it's not because of how they perform, because they perform amazing. Shockingly, like for the neon colors that they are very pigmented. They work great. But for me, they're not like everyday colors. They're not something I pick up and use all the time. They are like add to something I've got going on or special occasion only. So I'll show you guys because I do have this. This is, whoo! It is bright. And I don't use it all the time. I just don't. So that's why it is ranked where it is. The next one is going to surprise people. It's going to surprise people. Now, I'm just going to talk about this right this second and put it out of the way into bed. I don't care that these have weed themes. Like, that doesn't matter to me. It's not a selling point to me, and it's not a detraction for me. Because when I buy makeup, I buy it for the makeup. That's it. What's the color story? How does it perform? Everything else, all politics, all of the other stuff, I don't care about. It's just not something I think about. I'm sorry if that offends you. I'm sorry if weed themes offend you. I'm sorry if me continuing to talk about it bugs you. I'm sorry. I don't care about any of that stuff. I just want to try stuff out. So that's where I sit on it. So without further ado, the next palette, not because of performance, but simply because of like what's going on, is the Smoke Sessions palette. Now, it's only because there's two matte shades, and for me to have a complete palette, I like to have like a highlight shade and a dark shade. I like to have a full look, so like a transition shade, stuff like that. Now, a lot of people could make a look out of this, and you can make a very smoky look, you can make a very golden look, you can take just one of the colors on your lid and call it a day. But for me, I like to have lots of variety in my perfect palette, if you will. So that's why that is there. The next one would be the Impulsive palette. And here's the thing. I love everything on this side of the palette. They all work great. They're fabulous. These mattes are fantastic. I don't mind the colors on the other side. Some of them are really good. Some of them are very, very sheer. So it's not what I wanted to use them for. What I wanted to use them for, I don't get to do it as often. But I love all of the colors in here. It's not a very cohesive story. And I get that, but this is kind of just trying to be a compilation of things that are memories for them. And I can understand that, and that's okay. This is their palette. They can do whatever they want, and I chose to get it anyway because I like enough of the shades that it didn't matter. So for me, this is still a really nice palette. The mattes are top of the line. So, tough. Now we're into like... I just love them all. Okay. All right. I'm going to say my next one. Okay. I'm going to look at these. This is tough. This is tough. Because these I all like a lot. So, I don't know. Okay, for most people, this would be up a little bit higher because it is such a nice everyday palette. This is the 27 palette. I love this palette. So just because I have it right here does not mean I don't love it, because I love it. I love it. Like, I love it a lot. But it is... I still would like a lighter shade, like something for a highlight color. And I would have liked to see a different kind of metallic shade. Maybe something brighter that you could use on your inner lid. I like brighter colors on my inner lid. That is a personal preference. It is not like anything against anybody. And it may not be everybody's choice. The other thing with this is that Whiskey Neat actually comes off much, much lighter. And so I can't get the depth that I'm really looking for in the complete range that I've got here. So that's why I'm going to put that there. The next one would be Vita. And she is gorgeous. She's full of life. Vita. Like, they're such good colors. They're all pigmented. They're just, like, this is summer. Why do I do this? This is the creepiest thing ever. Stop it. This is summer in a palette to me. Like, boom shakalaka, add this to Radioactive, get your thing on, go out. My only qualm is, yet again, that there is not a light shade. There is this for a deep shade, but I still wish there was almost... I don't even want to say I want a black in here because I've got plenty of blacks. Just pull one else out. But I'm looking at full, complete palette. Like something that if I just needed to go somewhere, I could take it, put it in my purse, and use it. Okay, I would never put this in my purse. I would wrap this up tight like a baby. I would swaddle this sucker. But in any case, this is the next one on this. Okay. So this is going to surprise people because I love it so much. But they're going to be surprised that it's not number one. And it's not because of... what I'm about to talk about. The 420 palette. Oh my gosh, look how wrecked my 420 palette is. Like, they were so gorgeous. I kind of cleaned it up after my last swatch comparison video, because Lord knows it needed it. But here again is another case where I really would have liked to see a light shade for highlight and possibly another shimmer color. But if it's got this formulation, I'm not a fan of it. That's just me. Like this, I don't like the formulation. I've tried every brush that I possibly can. I've tried all my fingers. I should try my toes. I'm kidding. I would never do that. That's kind of gross. Not kind of. That is gross. But it's just not a great formulated shimmer. It's just not. I'm sorry. But the rest of it, ooh, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 across the board. Love it. So this was the toughest part for me because I'll tell you what, any other given day, I could flop these back and forth. And yeah. But I'm going to put Gemini second favorite. This is a pretty close to perfect palette, in my opinion. It's pretty close. The thing that is missing, in my opinion, is a brighter highlight shade. So if it had this, this would be number one all day, every day. All day, every day. But it's not. Number one. Worst drum roll ever that I've tried to do myself would be the Rust palette. Oh my goodness. This palette is just perfection. we've got a nice shade right here that is extremely light, which you can use for brow highlight. Now, it is not shiny, and I kind of like a shiny highlight, but that's okay. Now that I'm looking at them, I'm like, I've changed my mind. I now want Gemini #1. But it's got light to dark. It's got mid-tones. It's a great neutral palette. You can also make it very fall-inspired. You can make it very smoky. It's just like got such versatility. I feel like if you are able to pick up a palette, if you can only get one palette, save until you can get them all. Okay, no, that was terrible. But if you can only get one palette, I feel like this is such a great one because you get both neutral tones and some of the warmer tones, but it's not like the overused warm tones that some people are very tired of. That is my opinion. Now, if we're going to go by packaging, all right, your girl's going to have to think. This is on the fly. I was like, oh, I should do this. Okay, so I would say packaging-wise, I would put Impulsive last. Sorry, guys. I would put Smoke Sessions next. I would put... I'm like, what is there? I would put the Millennial Pinks palette next. Even though I really like it, it's still not as creative and gorgeous looking as the rest of their palettes. The one I would put after that would be the Muerte and the Vita palettes. They're really cool. Don't get me wrong, but I'm talking like my aesthetic, like my aesthetic. The next one I would do would be 420. I think this is cool as crap, and these colors are like my jam. But I really, really, really love... Okay, I love the Gemini packaging. I think that the roses are so cute. They're so cute. Like, so cute. And then... This is so tough. I think this is just going to surprise people. I love the rust packaging. I think that this is so cool. This is like a side note nobody even needs to know or probably cares about. My grandfather has worked on trucks his whole life, like classic cars, classic trucks. And so rust has kind of been a part of my life forever. And so I can really appreciate this packaging. This should be #1, but it's not #1. I am super torn between these two. And actually, I've just made up my mind. So this would be my second favorite packaging. I just find this so visually appealing. I love the kind of broken up mixture of all of the colors that are in here on the top. It's artsy, which is something I'm really into. I mean, they're all kind of artsy, really. But then my favorite packaging is the 27. I could hang this on my wall, and I would be completely okay with that. Now, it wouldn't match anything I've got in my house, but that's okay. Because I've got more like mints and stuff in here. But I just find their packaging to be super satisfying. I think, like, literally, don't you feel like this is something you would find on a wall somewhere? Maybe I'm alone. Let me know in the comments below, because now I'm really curious. In any case, if this was at all entertaining or enjoyable for you, or if you disagree and you want to tell me, please let me know, because I would love to see where you guys put stuff on your own personal list. I thought it was a great question, and I had to answer it. I did answer it like in the comments, but I didn't go into depth about it because, I mean, I could sit and talk about these all day, which is scary. And so in any case, if you like this, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, subscribe, and ring the bell for future updates. And I hope everybody has a great day. Bye.